What's up, everybody? Thank you guys so much for tuning into my show. As always, I appreciate it. All right. And you guys make sure you follow me across social media. Okay. That is Twitter, Miss Ross Radio, the number 1. And on Facebook and Instagram, it's just simply Miss Ross Radio.
Tune in to MissRossRadio.com. Did she just say that?
You've got to know what is worth it to you. That is a very important knowledge that we all must have in life to be able to live, these happy and joyous. We see a lot of people are in, situations and partnerships and relationships, and they're not necessarily completely happy with where they are. You find a lot of people just settling with being where they are. And that is because a lot of people haven't figured out what is worth it. People are struggling with trying to figure out what's really worth it. What's worth it? Is this location worth it? Is getting into this relationship worth it? Is staying in this relationship worth it? Going into this new business partnership, is it worth it? Investing, in this idea, is it worth it? The reason why a lot of people haven't been able to figure that out is because they haven't quite figured out who they are. You have to know, this is imperative. Before you can do anything in life, before you should want to make any decisions in your life, you should be trying to figure out who you are. Who are you? Who are you? Ask yourself. You have to be completely honest with self. You have to be completely honest with yourself first. And a lot of people don't even know how to question themselves. And a lot of people are too ashamed to even answer themselves. But you have got to get to a point in your life to where you question the man in the mirror. And you have to be completely honest with the man in the mirror. I had to do it several years ago, which is what helped me, get out of a lot of situations that I was in that I was wasting my time being in. I was caught up in those situations and investing in the wrong businesses and, was staying in the wrong relationships because I felt like I had history, with that person, or I invested too much in that business to walk away, was because I had never stopped to evaluate myself. I had never stopped to ask myself, who was I? And when you ask yourself, who are you? You're basically asking yourself what it is that you want. Like, what do you want? What do you want? What do you need? What will make you happy? And a lot of us, we don't do that. Number one, because we don't know our worth. We usually put other people, other things, other people's ideas, other people's dreams. And, we usually put the other things that someone we care about want to do before. And that's not loving yourself. There's nothing wrong with loving yourself first. You have to love yourself first, because if you don't love yourself, there's no way you're going to be able to love anybody else. You have to be able to love yourself. You have to be able to value yourself. That, everything else that is supposed to be in your life, everybody that is supposed to be positioned in your life, but will come. It's not going to happen until, number one, you put self first, love yourself, and know exactly what yourself wants. Once you master all 3 of those steps, everything else in your life will start to come together. You're going to start to attract the right mate. You're going to start attracting the right business partners. You're going to start attracting the right people that are supposed to be in your life at the right time. Until you do that, you're going to continue to be in these situations where you feel an empty void. A lot of you are in situations where you're just there. You know what I mean? Like, your body is there, but your mind is gone. Your mind is somewhere else. So it's kind of like the mind is outside of the body, because subconsciously you don't want to be where you are. But because you don't know who you are to know what you want, you're right where you are because you don't have nowhere else to go. You don't have nowhere else to go physically, mentally, spiritually, or emotionally because you have not evaluated who you are. I stress this a lot to people. You know, people are always asking me questions and I always ask them, who are you? And they say, what do you mean, who am I? Who are you? What type of person are you? What type of person are you? You have to face all those skeletons in your closet. You have to identify every last skeleton in your closet in order to know exactly who you are. You have to start knocking them off one by one. One by one. Every last one of your skeletons, you got to start picking them apart. Okay, who are you? Do I need you in my life? Is it necessary for me to continue to keep you in my life? Is it necessary for me to continue being this person that I am, which I don't know that I am? Okay, life is much more deeper than what you see on the surface. And it all starts right here in your mind. It all starts right here in your mind. The key to happiness, the key to being successful in anything that you want to accomplish in your life, whether it's, like I said, your relationship, a business partnership, making the right decision on what business you should go into, is knowing exactly who you are and knowing for a fact, without a shadow of a doubt, of what it is. Blind to our own identity, blind to who we are. There have been things that have happened in my life and I've reacted to it. And that, situation showed me who I was. And I remember having to sit back and say, whoa, I didn't know that was me. I didn't know that was in me. I didn't know that I felt that way. And when I say know exactly who you are, I say that for a reason, because you don't want to be taken off guard. You don't want to be shocked. You don't want to be devastated. You don't want your world turned upside down because of something that someone might do or a situation that may happen to you that blow your mind because you never knew who you was. So therefore, you never knew that the situation would have affected you the way that it did. Had you known who you were, the situation would not have been a surprise to you. You would have not been disappointed because you would have never put yourself in a situation to be, taken back or to be surprised, shocked, or devastated because you knew who you were from the very beginning. You avoided going into a lot of situations. Has caused a lot of people to resort to drug abuse and, a life of crime, violence, depression, because they just simply couldn't handle what life presented to them. And the only reason they couldn't handle it is because they never knew who they were. And like I said, if you know who you are, you know what you can handle. I haven't always, like I said, known who I was. I decided to divorce my ex-husband. I went through that phase of figuring out what was worth it to me. And the only way that I was able to figure out what was worth it, what was worth me investing my time in, what was worth me investing my money in, I had to sit back and I had to evaluate who I was. I had to figure out who I was. And it took about 4 years before I really figured out who I was. Meaning, what do you really believe? We jump on the bandwagon of what other people believe. We hold true to other people's values. We stand and we live our life according to the box that society has put us in. But when you are on a journey of trying to find out who you are, trying to find yourself, you have to ask yourself, what are your views? What do you value? What is important to you? What do you actually believe based on your knowledge and your understanding from your experiences? What do you believe? Not what that person thinks, not what that person believes, but what do you believe? And you have to stand true to that from the heart, from your heart, meaning you are going to stand on what you believe no matter what somebody else thinks of you or no matter what somebody else believes. Whether it makes sense to the next person or not, because keep in mind, our level of understanding compared to the level of understanding of the people that we come into contact with, our peers, our family members, are not going to be the same. So this is why I said you have to get on a path and a journey of self-evaluating yourself. Find out who you are. When I begin to go on this journey of evaluating myself and trying to figure out who I was, I started with my religion and I realized I'm spiritual. I'm not religious. And I figured out that is just who I was. And yes, I got a lot of judgments. Yes, my family, started looking at me different. I had aunties calling my mom, oh, she's a devil worshiper now. She's an atheist. She doesn't believe in Jesus anymore. But you know what? I held true to what I believed. And I have not backed down. I don't care how strong of a belief system that my family has. I have my own personal beliefs of what I believe in regards to the Bible, and I have stood. Yeah, like I said, I get judged, I get criticized, ridiculed, talked about, whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't care. So when I begin on that journey of self-evaluating, it started with my religion. I grew up in the church. We were made to go to church every day. Bible study every Tuesday, Wednesday, vacation Bible school. I mean, everything religious, we were forced to take part in. So I started doing some self-evaluating, and I started with religion. And there was a lot of things about my religion that I was raised to believe that I didn't believe. I was told to believe it, but in the back of my mind, I didn't believe it. And one of those things that stood out to me was when I got married. Okay, so when I decided to get married to my children's father, had a lot of my, religious people telling me, oh, it's going to be till death do us part. Oh, you can't leave, you can't divorce. And see, that was a problem for me. I always saw that as a problem because here it is. I've been told that, God, Jesus is the most compassionate, understanding, and down-to-earth spirit that there could ever be. His yoke is easy, remember? His burden is light. And for me, I felt like that was a burden on my shoulder. So you mean to tell me that if I go into this commitment with this man and somewhere down the line, I grow up or I find myself or the situation change or my feelings change or his feelings for me change, you mean to tell me that we can't part ways? We have to stay in this miserable relationship because of a Bible that says if we don't, God is not going to honor us being happy with somebody else. See, that right there was the turning point of me evaluating what I actually believe. No, I'm not staying in any situation where I'm not happy. I'm not staying in any situation that's not adding to my life, that's not bringing substance into my life, but yet is draining me, taking away from me, causing me to lose sleep at night. You know what I mean? I'm not about to stay in a situation like that. I don't care what commitment I made to you. No, that, like I said, that was one of the things that kind of, I was like, okay, yeah, I don't believe that. And with me, honestly, questioning myself and me honestly answering myself in an honest way, I was able to figure out who I was. This is why I now know what I want. In relationships, my business decisions, every decision that I make is very calculated now, planned and organized because I know who I am. And the fact that I know who I am, I now know what I want. So I want to challenge you guys to find out who you are. Find out who you are so you can get out of these dead-end situations that you're in, whether it be a marriage, whether it be an engagement that you feel like you're stuck in and you got to go all the way with it. Nobody. You don't owe nobody nothing. You can stop, you can turn around, and you can change it for yourself. Find out who you are, then you'll know what you want, and you'll be able to make profound decisions that is going to change your life for the better. You guys are stuck in a lot of dead-end situations where either you or your mate is simply dead weight. If you are not adding to a person's life, if you are not sowing seeds into someone, if you are not doing all that you can to ensure that a person is elevated so that they can, fall into their destiny, so that they can reach that point of where, they have been striving to go, seems like all their life, then you are dead. Like I said, whether it be a partnership, it doesn't always have to be related to a relationship like a spouse. It could be a business partnership. It could be a friendship. Okay, you could be friends with somebody that you've been friends with for years, and the friendship isn't doing anything for your life. Dealing with people who are going to impact your life to where you are going to be able to see yourself taking steps towards wherever it is you're trying to start doing some serious evaluating. Another key factor I wanted to point out, okay, I was raised on the belief system and the principles of love. Love conquers all things. And while love does conquer all things, love will also keep you bound in situations that are not for you. Be very cautious and very aware of what love is, and you have to be able to break down the different levels. You don't want love to get you, to keep you in situations, like I said, that's not elevating you. You gotta start making personal decisions in regards to mates, like you are going into a business deal. The truth of the matter is, as you get older, you have to start making tedious decisions, even in your relationship. You can't just get into relationships because a man has a nice body, or because he has, money, or because he makes you feel, or because a woman is just so sexy and she has a nice, body. She's just gorgeous. You know what I mean? She's different. She makes you feel different, because feelings fade. Feelings will fade. You will not always feel the same way. So you have to start choosing people that bring other things to the table than a feeling. You need to be able to bring to the table, or you need to be able to see in this person a partnership on a business level. Can this person match your hustle? Is this person out there trying to better not only their life, but the both of your lives? Does this person have your best interest at heart? Does this person, make decisions not only for themselves, but when they make their moves and they make decisions, are they making them with you included? Who are you dealing with? You have to be careful of the type of people. A lot of people are just looking for somebody to find refuge in. A lot of people don't have nowhere to go. A lot of people don't know where they're going in life. So you will become a safe haven for people. Like, you'll just become a safe zone. Like, they just feel comfortable with you. They know that you're going to provide and you're going to pay the bills. They know that you're going to take care of yourself first. And with them being in tow, they know that automatically you providing for them and caring for them is a no-brainer. It's automatic. It's an automatic benefit to them. Those are the type of situations that you have to avoid getting into, because you're going to find yourself carrying around dead weight. Start making responsible decisions in regards to your life, and start taking your life serious. Young kids, you are ahead of the game. Now is the time for you to start taking life serious, for you to start figuring out who you are so that you will know what you want, so that you can avoid making all of the same mistakes that your parents made. For you older people, Now is the time for you to get it together. Now is the time for you to drop that dead weight, for you to get out of that situation that is doing you no good, that is not elevating you, instead keeping you stuck in a place where you will never be elevated. You don't have time to waste. You have to get out those situations. Be it a partnership or a business. Where is the business going? Is the business causing you more grief, stress than it is bringing you relief? Is it more of a financial burden than it is a financial? You have to start paying attention to these things, and you got to get out. I don't care. Tell your partner, listen, this is not what I got in business for. This company is supposed to be bettering my life. It's supposed to be making me happy. It is supposed to be providing me financial relief, but yet it is causing me stress. I am burdened. I feel like there's a heavy weight on my shoulder. I can no longer stay in this relationship with this business. Buy yourself out or let them have it, and find you a new partner. Find you a new business that you can invest in that is going to take you to the next level. Staying in situations that are going nowhere is dumb. Okay? You don't want to do that for love. You don't want to do that not even for profit. Especially if it's not profiting you anything. You're stuck in a dead-end business relationship. Just like a lot of you are stuck in a dead-end marriage, dead-end engagement, and a dead-end shacking up situation. It's not a lot of you are dealing with people that you can't even see yourself marrying. You can't even see yourself going into a business with. You don't even look at this person as a business partner. You know, you don't trust that person half the time. You wouldn't turn your back on that person. You barely want to close your eyes and go to sleep at night with that person. You are in a dead-end relationship. Okay? Either you or your mate. One of you is draining the other. Your energy is clashing and it's not motivating you. Then you are in a dead-end relationship. You need to get out because you're wasting your time. And as an older person, if you are in your late 30s, early 40s, 50s, 60s, you do not have any more time to waste on a dead-end situation. Get out. You guys make sure you continue to tune in to my pre-recorded shows. I haven't gone live in a while, but I do pre-record my shows. If you go on over to the website, www.wmrronair.com, click on podcasts, and you will see my podcast. It's one of the podcasts that are amongst the other podcasts that the radio station promotes. Keep in mind, guys, we do promote your shows. If you are a podcaster and you want a great brand behind you, such as WMRR Radio, right now it's only $50 for us to create you a profile on our radio station page, and we will promote your podcast, promote your radio show across our. You can DM us on Instagram at WMRR on air. Okay. And always keep it locked right here, Miss Ross Radio on WMRR Radio. Bye, guys.
Tune in to MissRossRadio.com. Did she just